This podcast is being recorded
by the governments. Niamh, what would you do if the government listened to this podcast?
ASMR. They probably need it
Niamh, could you do some ASMR, please?
for the government specifically.
Yeah, for the government. Like this is okay. It's Joel from Department Financing. He's stressed out. The new regulation. No one knows what it means. The language is all like abstract and confusing. He loves Dave from marketing, but Dave from marketing is like kind of into Jill. So it's what's happening? Go.
Hi, Joel. I know you're having a hard day running the country, and you don't really understand your job because you fell into it. But you're doing a really good job being terrible. Like most politicians. I hope Dave notices you. But then I kind of don't. But it's still okay. I don't know where to go from here.
Let's start the podcast.
Well, I guess that's out of the way.
Welcome to the Let's Fight a Boss podcast. Bryan, for fuck's sake! Jesus Christ, now we have to cut everything and start again.
Oh no.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
My talented.
Is it so much to ask for one goddamn degree of professionalism on this podcast?
My headphones fell off and hit the microphone. I'm not sorry. That was so good.
Do you know how shocking it is? Stop that.
Sounds like good.
What? Stop.
No, you're not.
You're not.
You're not allowed to fuck
It's-
me this
you're not
episode.
allowed
I'm
to fuck
too
me this
jet
episode. I'm
lagged.
too jet lagged.
How was LA, John?
Oh, LA.
LA.
Bryan, please.
Bryan, please. Okay, I'll stop.
Have you actually stopped? Okay. LA was good. It's weird. I was a digital influencer.
What the fuck is that?
Okay, so I would constantly the way it works is like there's Anime Expo, right? But then there's the security company who run the convention center, and Anime Expo will have to give all their instruction to the security company. So a lot of stuff gets lost in translation. There's a lot of, can you get in here with this badge? Can you do that? And I found I've gotten like a pretty good pissy tone on me now, because I've been going around with Rebecca. That's Niamh's Rebecca, for those who keep track of this thing for some reason.
Not my Rebecca.
Not Bryan's Rebecca this time. It was really good. Like the week was really surreal. Like it always is. Whenever you go across seas and do like a big anime con, there's a lot of meeting people, and human contact starts to become really weird and strange. I did like the panel. And that was really, really cool. But it was like I did an hour panel and then like a 2.5 hour meetup. And by the end of it, I needed to piss so badly. And so for the last 5 people, and everyone has their little bit they want to say. You know, everyone wants to tell you like, you know, their favorite video or, you know, something like that. And I'd just be like, do you want a fucking photo, or what do you want? You know?
You little fucker.
But everyone was super sweet, and it was really, really cool. Do you want to hear a weirdo story?
Yeah, always.
Okay.
A weirdo at a con?
Yeah, unbelievable, right? They let one in. But there was this one guy, and I don't mind saying this because I'm confident he'll never hear it, for reasons that you will understand soon. And this dude seemed like someone who's probably very into ponies, that kind of thing. Not saying that to disparage him. I don't give a shit, whatever. I have enough weird shit in my closet that I don't judge other people.
Do you have a pony?
So the panel breaks up, and like, when the panel breaks up, the first thing I have to do, and I learned this last year, is there's going to be a crowd that forms outside of maybe, I'd say, like maybe 50 to 100 people. And the first thing I have to do is like lead them to an area where we can start a meetup, because it's kind of dangerous and it blocks the halls and the staff get really pissed. And so, but he comes up to me straight away and he's like, "Can I get a photo?" And I was like, "Oh," and I was like, "Well, we might just go around the corner." And he goes, "Would you mind? It'll just take a sec." And I was like, "Okay, sure." And we take a photo. And so then anyway, we walk around the corner and we have to go outside, and then there's an earthquake, and so we have to move again. And then when we move again, he comes up to me again, kind of skipping the queue a little bit, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, can I just get another photo? Can I just get one of you?" And I was like, "Sure." And so then anyway, he goes, "Okay, thank you so much." And then, anyway, the meetup starts proper. I get about 30, 40 people in. Getting a little loopy at this point. And I look in the queue, and it's this fucking guy is queuing up again. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? And so he comes up, and he tells me that the first photo he got of just me and him, the lighting wasn't right, and you can't really see us. And I was like, okay. And I take the photo again, and I make sure the lighting's right. And so then, anyway, he finishes up, and he's just kind of chatting, and I'm just like, okay, well, cool, listen, thanks for coming by. I really appreciate you watching the videos, whatever. And he goes, oh, I've never actually heard of you before today.
Why?
I was like, oh, what?
Like, he was queuing and went to the panel?
At this point, he's invested about 3 hours of his evening in this.
In you.
And, like, I was just like...
There's so much to do and see at an anime convention.
I know, but he showed up to just... So what I think it was is he saw Wolf in the title, and I think he seemed like the kind of guy who maybe...
wants to fuck a wolf.
Oh my god, Niamh.
Does he?
I'm just filling in the blanks.
Don't.
It's mating season. It's a full moon.
This was like my chance to kind of confide this memory in you two, but you're just making
So, okay, he seemed like a kind of guy who...
I don't know.
He
was of a
wanted-
furry disposition.
Ah, okay.
No judgment to furries. I have a lot of fans who are furries, and most of them are fucking cool and really nice. This was a little weird.
But this guy wanted to slam it hard.
I don't know. He wanted to slam it hard. I have no
Soft?
evidence of that.
He just wanted to just get in there.
Yeah,
He was in there first. Your first con,
guys,
sweetheart.
I'm so jet lagged, and this is really hard. My defenses are really low this episode, and you're both going pretty hard.
Can you so we have names this episode that I picked.
Yep.
We're up from the 36th
I
chamber.
have to start the intro again. Welcome to the Let's Fight a Boss video game podcast, the world's strongest video game podcast. I'm sitting here with two of the baddest hip-hop artists from the early 90s. To my left, it's the Bitter Knight. It's Bryan.
What's up?
To my right, it is the profound samurai herself. It's Niamh.
Hello.
And with you always, it's your host, the sarcastic ninja, Joms.
Oh dear.
So I was about 2 seconds into the panel, like literally 2 seconds into the panel, and someone just goes, "Hey Josh."
That's my guy.
Yeah, I had to, at one point, I had to be like, I will no longer answer any more Let's Fight a Boss questions. But it was great. It was actually really sweet the amount of Let's Fight a Boss fans there were. And there was a lot of people super invested in the war for the queenship. I got a lot of people pledging their loyalty to the Dark Prince.
Who's that?
Why? Yeah. What's a Dark Prince?
That's me. I'm the Dark Prince of the Let's Fight a Boss.
You're the fucking court jester. You're the fool.
There's a lot of very hurtful things being said right now.
You're just...
Niamh, could you say something nice to balance it out?
You moon the people for our entertainment.
We feed you the swill that the pigs don't eat.
We're going to talk about some media now.
This is the part of the podcast where we talk about stuff that aren't video games yet.
No, we'll get there. You just gotta wait like 40 minutes in this video game podcast and we'll start talking about video games.
Yeah.
Guys, I saw Fighting with My Family.
I've seen this film as well.
Yeah?
This is such an airplane movie.
Did you watch it on the airplane?
I watched it on the airplane.
Yeah, it's such a good airplane movie.
This was so much better than I thought it would be.
It's so cute.
It's really good. So what really surprised me about this is if you guys, this is the biopic about Paige, the WWE wrestler, and you might have seen the trailer for this, and it's like about this kind of wrestling family, and the trailer makes it look like a Disney movie.
Yeah,
because The Rock's in it.
Yeah, and it has that kind of rags to riches story,
and it's produced by WWE as well. So
yeah, so it really looks like a very kind of sweet, wholesome movie, and it has elements of that, but it's really not that.
No, it's tough.
It's kind of tough, and there's a nice edge to it, and some of the humor is really fucking funny. There's this bit where, like, Paige, she's from, like, London, and she's, like, a kind of goth, and she goes to WWE Developmental, and she meets, like, a bunch of, like, these, you know, like, blonde cheerleader wrestlers, and she's like, all right, my name's Paige, And one of the blonde cheerleader wrestlers just goes, "I love your accent. You sound like a Nazi in a movie." Like,
yeah.
that's the kind of jokes that are in it, you know? And it's really funny. And like a lot of the actors in it, like the people who play her family, are her dad and her mom were so fucking funny.
Yeah, it's Cersei and...
Lena Headey.
What?
Yeah, that's Lena Headey.
She's so good you didn't even recognize her.
She blended into the role.
She does not look like Cersei in real life. She
No.
looks like normally looks like that. Like she's covered in tattoos.
No wonder I was
She's
so...
so hot.
I was like really attracted to the mom. And I was like,
then
God damn it.
And then the dad is Nick Frost from like Shaun the Dead.
Oh, he's brilliant.
And
Not hot.
You should see him in this.
He's very cuddly.
Yeah, very cuddly.
Steve Merchant directed it, who co-created The Office, and I think he must have punched up the dialogue as well a bit.
Steve Merchant's in it as well.
Yeah, he is.
And he's very funny. Some of the dialogue is very Steve Merchant-y, but like in a really good way.
Yeah.
And I loved her brother in it. I felt really bad for him.
The bit where like Vince Vaughn is just like, look, you made it as far as you do.
Yeah.
I take it back. Mr. Frost has a cool beard in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, they all look like wrestlers.
Well, they're all... Yeah.
Good job, film.
But it's really good, and like it really understands the wrestling industry as well. There's a really interesting like clash of cultures where like Paige grew up wrestling, and she's wrestling with all these like female wrestlers who have never wrestled before, like maybe they're models or cheerleaders, whatever. And one of them like hits her with an elbow by mistake, and Paige is like, just, you know, keep an eye on what you're doing and just like look at me. But then she does it again like by accident, and Paige slaps her. But in wrestling culture, you're allowed to do that. It's called a receipt. So if someone like tags you like in real life, you're allowed to hit them back. And it's the way you really learn to take care of your opponents, because they're going to hit you if you do something wrong. It's weird, but it's like, it's a legit thing. And like, that's like a turning point in the story. And it's interesting to see them take these kind of fairly deep cuts from like wrestling and actually implement them into the story, you know? I felt maybe the last third of it felt a bit rushed, because a lot of it's how much trouble Paige is having integrating into the system, and then in the last third she does it, you know. And it's a little, it felt a little easy to me, but other than that, I thought it was a great movie, and the cast were so endearing, and it's
the girl who plays Paige. She's fantastic.
She's amazing.
Her name is Florence Pugh.
Yeah,
Pugh. It's one of those surnames I don't know how to pronounce. But she's in another film that we'll be talking about in a while. Okay.
But it was really cool. I thought it was interesting at the end when like they showed actual footage of Paige wrestling, and you just fucking forget how amazing Paige is. She's like, she can just move like crazy. But it was a super, super good, like enjoyable movie. Bryan.
Yes.
Too Old to Die Young.
Okay, I'm going to talk about this very quickly because I don't really care or like it.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you know what this is?
No.
You're not going to like it, but I'm going to tell you as quick as I can because I want to get to the interesting thing.
Let's
Okay.
see who starts booing first, Niamh.
Okay.
This is an Amazon Prime original series
Okay.
written and directed by Nicholas Winding Refn,
Who's that?
the creator of the guy who directed Drive and Neon Demon.
Woo!
There it is. Okay, so it's 10 episodes long. Every
Okay.
episode is about approximately 90 minutes.
Oh.
And it is about an LA cop trying to find out who murdered his partner.
Right.
This
And-
sounds like you would like it.
And he goes into the criminal underworld and he meets like the Mexican drug cartel. He meets the Yakuza. He meets a bunch of teenagers. And it is the most like neon street cityscape thing he's made. It is fucking boring.
Is this guy bad at making stuff?
He's
I don't know.
I like 50% of his work, and then the other 50% I really don't enjoy at all. And this isn't that half of it.
Do you think you can't bank on neon anymore since everything has neon lighting in it now?
It really feels like he's
He did that one, God's Forgives as well. didn't
Only
he?
God Forgives,
Yeah.
which isn't particularly good.
Yeah,
either.
I've never heard anyone say too good about that.
This is just a character will talk, then then there's 10 seconds of silence, then another character will talk, and every scene is like that. And maybe there might be a bit of action in the middle of it, but like the characters are flat. There's just no energy. It's boring. In episode 4, the main character played by Miles Teller, who is actually really kind of like good. Like he looks like an old Hollywood actor. Like, he is really, really well cast. And his character just stands around and reacts to stuff. But he goes into a warehouse, and it's where the Yakuza operate out of LA. And he goes deep underground, and they're there practicing archery. And he's there with a Japanese guy. And the Japanese guy is going to try and get him a meeting with the head Yakuza, who's behind a glass kind of meeting room. And he goes in, talks to the Yakuza, and the boss gives out to him. And there's a man sitting in the corner of the room, stands up and cuts off this guy's finger with a samurai sword. And you're like, cool. And then you look at who the person is, and this person doesn't say anything. They just stand up, take out a samurai sword, cut off someone's finger, and then sit back down. But the person who is wielding the samurai sword is Hideo Kojima.
Again, that's such a like, yay boo. I like that he's there, but I also don't like that he's there.
And Nicholas Winding Refn is motion capture character in his game. And so there you have it. That's the connection.
Okay.
It's not a good show. Do not watch it. If you're curious, Google Hideo Kojima. Too old to die young. And you can see, oh, there he is. That's it. Next.
Niamh, tell us about Anima.
Anima.
It's spelled anime, just for future reference.
Every time I Googled it.
I still haven't watched this.
So this is Thom Yorke of Radiohead's short film, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, who did like Magnolia, Phantom Thread, and There Will Be Blood. It is like a 12-minute long interpretive dance video to Thom Yorke's new album, Anima. Anima is like kind of, it's anima and animus. It's kind of part of Jungian psychology, which Thom Yorke is super into. So this is all about his dreams and dystopia. And it's a really interesting piece. It starts with Thom Yorke on the train, the underground, and everyone's falling asleep to a beat. So you know the way you like nod off to sleep and your head bounces?
Yeah.
It's like using that beat. So everyone's like falling asleep consistently to the beat all across it. And it keeps continuing. And there's it's to 4 tracks, so it's only like around 12 minutes long. But it kind of goes through a dream sequence with him. But there's just some really interesting dance in it. There's a bit where they're clearly on a sloped surface, but it's shown flat. So they can kind of march up the wall on their knees and their elbows. And it just makes for this really cool looking visual of people moving. And you kind of want to see the behind the scenes, like how steep was that? But it's on Netflix. It's a really cool short thing where you get to see some awesome choreography to some really trippy electronic music that only like inspires like anxiety and dystopia and all those fun things that I enjoy. The choreography is from the same choreographer who did Suspiria, and Thom Yorke did the music for the new Suspiria as well. So
that makes sense.
It's cool and it's moody, and I think it's worth a watch if you like that stuff and you like Radiohead.
Cool. Sounds good. And that's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. I kind of like that about that with like Beyonce's Lemonade and like Thom Yorke's kind of like Anima. It's kind of, there's this space for streaming platforms to kind of do long form video around music.
Yeah, because there are a bunch of like 15 to 30 minute short films, like all of Don Hertzfeldt's animated short films are on Netflix.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's really cool.
They're very buried, but it's kind of nice that this is like on the front page.
Yeah.
Until something else comes. Well, yeah, I guess other stuff comes along. But
you know, when a music video used to come out, it used to be such a big deal.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, and now it's just kind of ubiquitous. Everything has a music video, and they kind of range from quality and kind of stakes all the time. And I just think it's like interesting that there's also the streaming space to maybe put more money into things and get a bit more artistic.
Yeah, I would love for music videos to kind of have more of a platform. And I know music videos get a shit ton of views on YouTube, but they get a shit ton of views because it's the same people listening to the song over and over as opposed to like the video. Yeah,
the music videos don't go viral in the same way they do. Like the ones that will always go viral will
songs
go viral.
Go viral.
Yeah, songs.
Music don't. Videos don't.
Yeah.
But yeah. That sounds cool.
Definitely worth a watch.
Okay. I have something, but you guys are not allowed to be weird over it.
Okay.
I read the IDW Sonic the Hedgehog comic.
Which one's this?
This is the new one.
Okay.
Is it good?
It's super good. It's really, really like it's. I'd never read like I've very limited experience with the old Archie comics. I think I've maybe read one volume once, and I thought it was pretty alright. But this is really weirdly fun to read. They have a bunch of really super good artists. And you know when there's like a couple of different artists working on a series, and sometimes you're like, oh, it's this guy. I don't like this guy as much. Every one of these artists I like, and like all the drawings are like so expressionate, like expressive and cool, and like really cute. And the story is like, it's a Sonic the Hedgehog story, so it's not like, you know, it's not like super fucked up or super like in depth or anything. But the dialogue's all really kind of catchy, and every panel just kind of feels well used. And I am kind of surprised because I saw some art from it on Twitter, and I was like, this looks really good. And I had Metal Sonic, and I love Metal Sonic because he's an emotionless robot. And I was really surprised at how much I enjoyed this. I don't know, it's a weird thing to recommend to people, but like, if you can pick up a volume, even just like have a look at it, at some of the art, because it's beautiful. It starts off with Dr. Eggman losing his memory, and he turns super nice, and it's really weird, and no one can tell if he's like putting it on or not.
That's a fun concept.
It is really fun, and there's a lot of shit like that. Right now in it, Sonic is infected with this metal virus, which will take over his body and turn him into a cyborg if he stops running.
Oh no.
Yeah, oh no. And Rouge the Bat's in it. She's pretty cool.
I was actually thinking about Rouge the Bat this morning.
Me too, buddy.
Yeah.
Me 3.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. What a beautiful woman.
What a beautiful bat.
Hey, no discrimination here.
No, I love her guano.
Her what?
What?
What's a guano?
What?
What?
Guano, isn't that what they call bat poop? Isn't that from Ace Ventura? Ventura?
Oh, the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I saying it wrong? It's probably not guano, and
I don't
When
think
nature
I don't
calls.
think your pronunciation is what is wrong with that
No?
concept. No.
It's just one of those words that doesn't really come up a lot of the time,
No?
especially in a video game podcast. But that's fine.
So we're just gonna let Bryan we're just gonna let Niamh just be like, yeah, batshit, and just that's it. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Good one, Niamh.
The IDW Sonic comics are really fun. I'd recommend them. Bryan,
Yeah.
why don't you tell us about?
Stranger Things
Yes.
season 3.
Yes.
Yeah, I finished it the other day. I thought it was neat. I didn't really enjoy season 2. I thought season 1 was cool, but kind of empty in places. I think this is the most energetic season. They have a way bigger budget, so the set design, and there's loads and loads of extra characters, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you didn't really believe it was the 80s. I think this is the most believable 80s.
I hear a lot of
been.
it's set in a mall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Like the mall looks fucking awesome, and some of the like it's got an A storyline, a B storyline, C storyline, a D storyline. At one point, it even has an E storyline, and like they're all pretty good, and they all kind of culminate in the mall, which is nice. It's Stranger Things.
You're watching it as well, aren't you, Niamh?
Yeah, I'm a few episodes in. I'm always up and down on Stranger Things. When it's really good, it's super good.
Yeah, it is
Totally.
When
a lot of great actors.
But then there's bits where you're just checking your phone.
yeah, when it's not great, it's not great. I found this season, and I've had this issue with like Stranger Things in general. Their desire to pair up those children consistently is just really annoying to me, and just how focused everything is on very heterosexual relationships, romantic and otherwise.
Sometimes I feel like TV shows, whenever they want to portray like adolescence or maturity, they just go straight to relationships.
It's
And
like the
I
only
think-
way they can generate drama.
And I
or
think
something.
that's shitty, because I think there's so many more interesting things about like being a teenager than developing feelings for someone. And like that is interesting, but
it's not even about pining, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's just
Just they're
about
in
like they're
couples,
in
yeah.
relationships. It's just really like why the fuck are these kids like so obsessed with this and
They're
with
so-
girlfriends?
They're
and
so horny this season.
yeah, Dustin and his like fake secret real girlfriend kind of thing, and all the moms want to fuck the bully.
I'm sorry, Niamh. I'm sorry for cutting you off like that.
It's okay. I understand. This is difficult for you.
I guess this isn't heterosexual, but that bully, he's so fucking hot. Holy shit, Billy the bully.
I'm so glad that Billy has woken like this latent desire in you.
Yeah, that's cool.
But also,
Oh, it's a slightly related subject. Sorry, Niamh.
go on.
If you Google Super Eye Patch Wolf girlfriend and scroll down a little bit, a picture of Bryan comes up.
Yeah.
Nice.
You don't come up, Niamh.
Thanks. Thanks, algorithm.
People know what they are.
Here's the thing I don't like about Billy this season. They're like, oh, Billy, he's struggling with the evil darkness within him. And it's like he was
Hell
like a
yeah.
psychopath last season, and
he's
he
a
didn't have
terrible-
like a demon in him then. Like, okay.
They use him. I find they use him very effectively, and they just burn him.
Mm-hmm.
They just burn through that fucking Billy material, and just he's so weird around moms. But like you find out why, which is kind of cool, I guess. But just that fucking mullet, that thin mustache, that earring, those nipples. He's just the best.
Michelle's pretty enamored.
Yeah, I with him there would be no safe word.
What are you
love-
planning to do?
He could do whatever he wants to me. I'll just sit there.
Okay, so Billy's gonna
I'm
bake
gonna have
Bryan into a pie.
good, hard think about how much of this I'm gonna edit out.
I don't mind.
I know you don't mind, Bryan.
I don't mind.
That's
whatsoever.
apparent.
It's a fictional character.
I don't know. I'm halfway through. I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. I think I'm maybe over these kids. Like, there's gonna be a 4th season of this, is there?
There's definitely 4th season.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think there's gonna be like 7 seasons of this.
Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm getting like Stranger Things burnout.
But like the way Netflix do their shows is they either cancel it too early or just fucking
Run it into the ground.
yeah, run it to the ground like
So-
they did with that President show and the Orange is the New Black
I think
and stuff like
one,
that.
one of my biggest problems with Stranger Things, and I think it's kind of why I checked out of season 1 so hard, was and I get that this isn't actually what a lot of people are going there for, so this is just going to be like a criticism I think bothers me, but I just found the kind of horror side of it so basic.
Like monsters this season are awesome.
Okay, yeah, because I found like the monster in season 1, it was alright, but
I
it was
don't like that monster.
It was basically like Baby's first alternate universe thing.
Okay, the monsters this season are like Dead Space monsters.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
And it's cool because they're like hulking abstract muscle blobs, but then they can dissolve themselves and go underneath doors and re-emerge.
The Alex Mackett.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
cool. I really, really like the designs this season.
Okay.
And even just like the kind of build up around it, like with all the rats freaking out at the start.
Yeah.
Like, it's
There's good stuff in there.
I think the horror is better this season in general.
It is. No, they're yeah.
Yeah, I might check this out.
I could leave the Russian subplot. Like, I don't really need that.
That's just like, well, like the first 2 seasons had the American government as the bad guys, and then this is leaning into the whole Red Scare of the mid '80s.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bit of satanic panic in there as well.
I love a bit of Satan Payton.
Yeah, it's just, you guys remember the '80s? This is the most remembered the '80s season they've ever done.
Yeah.
There's a bit where just a bunch of characters are in the cinema watching Back to the Future, for the sake of it.
Yeah, that's what that sounds like.
And they got the rights to Back to the Future because the trilogy is on Netflix right now.
So, you're pretty up on it, Bryan. You liked it.
Yeah, but like, it's just fucking the Avengers movies. It's just one of those things.
Okay.
It's Coca-Cola.
Niamh, tell us about The Apostle.
So this is another Netflix thing, and I had a lot of time on my hands, so I do what a lot of people do, is I go to Google and I type in best horror Netflix, and then I amend that and go best horror Netflix UK and Ireland, because I don't want to disappoint myself. And The Apostle came up, which is a 2018 film by Garrett Evans, known for making martial arts action films The Raid, Raid 2, and Moran 2.
What?
So yeah, he's Welsh director. He makes martial arts action.
He made one for VHS 2 as well.
So he has done horror. So this is a period horror piece, fantastical horror. And because he's like, if you've seen The Raid and stuff, it is quite visceral. this is pretty visceral, but it's also, because it's that period horror, it's grounded in a weird reality. So when things kind of, the reality of oldness, I guess, but then when things start getting weird, they get really weird. So it's Dan Stevens, who was in Downton Abbey as Matthew Crowley and is in Legion. And he needs to go to a remote Welsh island to find his sister, who's been kidnapped by a mysterious cult led by cult leader Michael Sheen. The cult worship a goddess who gives them good crops, but they have to give her something in return. What do they give her? Who knows? You'll find out.
Is it the girl?
No. The very first night he's there, he's given a jar. And he's like, what the fuck is my jar for? But he can't let on that he hasn't been given an invite to this cult because he's trying to infiltrate them. He's not going in guns blazing or anything. Yeah. He's going in sleuthy. I'm going to be their friend and get my sister out of there.
The less he says, the better.
Yeah. So he gets in. He gets the jar. He looks outside his bedrooms because they've all been given lodging and work in this cult. Like, it's kind of thriving. And he realizes that the jars are full of blood outside every single person's door. So everyone bloodlets their arms at nighttime. It goes from there. It has some of the wildest character design I've seen. Like, I will say straight up Resident Evil, Silent Hill-esque. And it kind of takes a real, like, hard turn from kind of something like The Witch, where it's kind of grounded in that, like, old-timer reality, to going really, like, Silent Hilly. You know,
you're really selling me on this movie.
It was really surprisingly good. I had a really great time watching it. It looks great as well. The acting is superb. Like, everyone is doing an amazing job. It was one of those, like, hidden Netflix gems, and I'm really glad I watched
fantastic. That sounds so good.
I'm down.
Yeah, totally.
So that's The Apostle, and it's on at least UK and Irish Netflix.
Cool. Speaking of creepy cult endeavors,
yeah, folk horror.
Bryan, me and you saw a movie. Not together.
No.
But we did both see a movie.
Yes, we did.
We both saw
Midsommar.
And this is from the director of Hereditary.
Ari Aster.
And
it stars the same girl who played Paige from Finding With My Family.
Oh, what?
She's a really good actor.
She's great in this.
She was also in Little Drummer Girl last year, the Park Chan-wook TV show for BBC.
So the setup for this movie, it's kind of interesting because this movie, Hereditary, was all about, like, we're gonna have to talk. I think if we're gonna talk about this, we're gonna have to talk about some stuff. I'm okay with keeping it to, like, broad.
I haven't seen it. I'm seeing it tomorrow. I can leave the room.
I'm okay with talking about, like, broad themes and not getting specific.
No, I'd rather because before this time last year when you'd both seen Hereditary but I hadn't, you did it very well.
Okay.
You didn't spoil anything, so let's keep it as broad as possible. But you're like 5 minutes into this movie and you're like, this is definitely the same director as Hereditary.
Oh, 100%. There's, like, the first 5 minutes is basically like a scene from Hereditary.
Just someone is upset and they're wailing.
Yeah. And I think, like, the strength of this guy is his ability to just take, I wouldn't say everyday scenes, but, like, scenes that come from life, like experiencing trauma and stuff like that, and just frame them in a way that they're fucking awful. I feel like there's some scenes in this movie that if anyone else directed, they'd just be a drama scene. He makes them horror scenes. Like, Jesus Christ. There's this one cut right at the start, and it's this, like, it's just these, like, scenes of, like, snow, and it's a woman singing over them. And then all of a sudden there's a really hard cut to the middle ring of a phone call, and it's so jarring and it's so uncomfortable. It, like, puts you on edge immediately. And that tension doesn't really let up.
No, you have a sense of dread the entire way.
Yeah.
So this is like a daylight horror.
Yeah, I'd say 90% of this movie is in bright summer daylight.
And I think the 10% comes right at the start. It's in
wow.
darkness. The rest of it's just brightness.
And, like, it's very out in the open what's going on. A lot, like, people are kind of talking indirectly about stuff, but they're not hiding.
I figured out what was going on, like, pretty early on in the movie. Like, to the point, I wouldn't really say it's a twist. It's just, It's more just how it happens.
Yeah, especially if you've seen the director's last film.
Yeah.
He has themes that are continuing in this.
Yeah, and I feel like if Hereditary was a lot about someone's just complete inability to handle death, this is nearly the kind of inverse of that in a really, really weird way.
Someone's inability to deal with life.
Someone's ability to deal with death.
Okay.
And just see it, and like in a kind of nice way, nearly, in that like it's just accepted and it's okay, and there's like nothing wrong with it, and it doesn't go the direction of like, it doesn't go an obvious direction in terms of like, oh, you're getting chased by a mad person and they think that's fine. It's like, it's what's kind of horrifying about the movie is kind of how natural this community, basically it's about this group of American kids who go to this Swedish
commune out in the wildlands
for this 9-day festival, the Midsommar festival, and these people see death very differently to normal people, and the film does a really amazing job, at least for the first while, of kind of being like, are we the weird ones here?
Yeah,
because this kind of seems okay.
Yeah, like there's that whole thing of like you go on holidays to a different part of the world. You're out of your comfort zone, and you're like you're forced to eat something you've never eaten before, or participate in something you've never been in before, and you kind of have to respect their culture.
And there's a lot of that, and that's kind of what's sort of...
And people are super compliant about it.
Yeah, what's difficult, because like some people are really appalled by what they're seeing, and some people are like, this is normal, like this is just their way of life, like what we do is barbaric to them, you know.
That's such a good setup for horror then, because then you feel like you can't question the reality you're shown because you don't know what normality is.
Exactly. And like there's a really good line in, I think, in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, where a serial killer says something like, how many people do you think have died because they didn't want to be rude? You know, how many people like stepped into a car they shouldn't have, walked home with some, like all that. And there's a real element of that where you're constantly going, no, I don't like this.
Yeah, like at several points, characters are given an option and they choose the easier option, which is the bad option.
Yeah, and it's like this kind of like, I guess, sort of a stream of events happen, and each time something happens, the situation's a little worse, but none of the characters want to call it out because it's too uncomfortable.
That's so great. I love that.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the whole theme, because it is just about a really...
There's a lot.
Just about a group of friends that shouldn't be together, right?
Yeah, there's a lot about like taboo in this movie, like something that's okay in one culture that is absolutely not in another. There's a really interesting scene where one character is explaining how this kind of religious commune gets their holy book.
Oh God!
And it's really it's appalling. Like it's just so fucked up. And then one of the characters asks, "Can they take a photo of the book?" And the idea of him taking a photo of the book is appalling to these people, as how the book was made is to the Americans. And it's this just really interesting like clash of ideology. I think sometimes the danger with this kind of movie, like especially a lot of American made movies, is like, we went to a foreign culture and there was a lot of foreign people and they did things differently to us. There's a little bit about that in this movie, but for the most part, I think they handled it pretty well. Like, it doesn't feel very xenophobic. It more just horror.
They're like super welcoming.
Like the horror comes from just how uncomfortable this difference in views is, you know, and like it does. You know, you've seen this guy's movies. You know how he likes to get in his like third act.
Yeah, this is an upsetting, difficult movie to watch in places.
Yeah, and it's also not a movie from everyone. Like I had people walk out of the cinema.
Oh really?
Yeah. I've been talking to people at work about it, and like some people fucking hate this movie.
Yeah, I 100% could see that.
And like the movie is very experimental in places. It feels like a Jodorowsky film.
It does kind of lose,
and it's like nearly 3 hours long.
Yeah.
Do you think it's like more so than Hereditary? Do you think it's harder for...
It's way harder to digest than Hereditary.
Okay.
Like Hereditary, each scene in Hereditary is there for a reason. There are some bits in this movie that could be cut.
Yeah,
but,
totally.
But it's there for atmosphere.
Yeah.
And I personally felt there was too much of that shit in it, and I love atmosphere, but definitely like the story really slows down in like the third quarter, and there's a lot of shots of just like festival dancing and all this kind of stuff. Like it's still cool, but I think there's probably a tighter, better horror movie in here.
Yeah, like you really have to be in the right mood to.
I kind of appreciate that because you know when you get into the third act of a horror movie, it's just like, well, it's balls to the walls from here, like, and there's no like chance to like catch your breath. Sometimes I kind of like I kind of like those moments sometimes.
For me, my screening was full of lots of uncomfortable laughter because people didn't know how to react to what they were
But this
seeing.
is also kind of a funny movie.
It is no,
Like,
like
some of the dialogue's really funny.
So is Hereditary.
yeah, and like the main characters in it are really like they are kind of shitty people, some of them, but they're so believable and well written.
Well, like a lot of the story revolves around the main
lads.
girl and her boyfriend, and they struck me as two people who weren't like bad people, but just so wrong for each other, and in just this super uncomfortable way. And it was great.
I love the boyfriend. He's so mentally checked out.
Yeah, he's such an idiot.
Yeah, he's Irish. That guy.
Yeah,
he's great.
So Brian, the two bits that people walked out with for me was the cliff bit happened.
Yep.
One guy was fucking straight out of there.
That's a real turning point.
And then another bit where a boy walks into a room and there's a bunch of people waiting for him.
Yep.
And a guy just got up and left.
That's definitely another, because from that point on, yeah. I really like the bits where characters are drugged and they vibrate everything.
Yeah.
I think
there's a lot of casual like drug taking in this.
Nice.
And the first time the cast take drugs is so funny. Like it was.
Yeah, it's really good.
There's a dickhead best friend in this movie, and the guy who plays him so well.
Will Poulter. Yeah,
he's great.
He was also in Bandersnatch as the fucking peroxide blonde guy.
Oh, okay, of course.
And he's in the Maze Runner games. And Chidi from The Good Place is in it.
Chidi.
Yeah.
Is he safe?
He's playing. It's a horror. Look,
yeah, no one's safe. Okay.
Which dude is he?
The black guy.
He was very good.
He pretty much plays Chidi from The Good Place in this as well. Like he's kind of the most like polite out of them.
Yeah.
And well-meaning person, I guess.
I fucking love this movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was
really
great.
liked it.
I think I might like it a bit better than Hereditary.
Yeah, okay, one of these movies gets put in the vault and no one gets to see it ever again. Is it Hereditary or Midsommar?
I think Hereditary will appeal to more people.
But for you...
I think Midsommar is a more unique horror movie.
Yeah,
and like,
it's a very
there
special
was a
movie.
point with Hereditary where I was like, oh, okay, I see what we're doing here. I never hit that point with Midsommar. Like, right till the end, I was like, what is... Ooh, you know?
Yeah.
So Midsommar is your pick to keep.
Oh...
Gotta choose.
Okay, describe this vault to me. So humanity will never...
Humanity from this moment on, anyone who has never seen either of these movies from this moment will never have the opportunity to see them again. They can hear about it, you can tell them about it, you can describe it.
I think people miss the bus on Midsommar. I think they can all watch Hereditary. That's gonna make loads of money.
I think more people enjoy Hereditary.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So
I think Midsommar is a thing that is very specifically me and Bryan, and I do think you'll like it as well, Niamh.
Yeah, like folk horror is such a cool genre.
There's not a lot of movies like this, and like it's a horror movie. It's all.
Why do you
daylight.
want to put it in a box then?
Because
Hereditary is fucking Hereditary.
I think more people enjoy Hereditary. Like I would recommend Hereditary to more people than I'd recommend.
That's so selfless of both of you.
Okay. So he's directed 2 feature films, Ari Aster. He's directed some short films as well, but have you ever seen his college grad film?
What was it called?
The Strange Thing About the Johnsons.
No.
It's a 30-minute short film about a family called the Johnsons. I'm not loot dropping it because I don't recommend people watch this movie. If you do seek it out, maybe watch the first 3 minutes. You'll know if it's for you or not. If it's not for you, just stop watching it.
Okay, I'm going to watch that when I go home.
I'll send you a link.
Please do.
It is from the director of Hereditary and Midsommar. I need to stress that.
Okay, that's fine.
It's an upsetting film.
This movie was upsetting as well. Like
it's a bad time.
I think there is one of the most shocking death scenes I've ever seen. And it's shocking because of how much not a big deal it is. Like, something's about to happen, they just don't cut, they just let it happen, and no one's reacting, and it's awful. It's a great movie.
Did you guys have good crowds other than the people who walked out?
I really like my crowd.
I had a cinema buddy.
Yeah?
Yeah. It was like very few people in the cinema. I ended up sitting beside this girl. We're both like, whoa. And then I left really quickly to make sure there could be no small talk, so that relationship's perfect forever now.
You didn't fuck it up.
No.
Was that the most people who've left a cinema that you've been in?
No,
the film?
Napoleon Dynamite's the most people I've...
That is so funny. More people left during Napoleon Dynamite. Yeah,
that's
I'd say like
Yeah.
I'd say about 12 people left when I saw Napoleon Dynamite.
that's so funny.
For me, it was Silence or Neon Demon. Like, people walked out of Silence because of how boring it was. And
Yeah.
people walked out of Neon Demon because you either love it or you fucking despise it.
Yeah, it was Neon Demon for me, and Mandy. A lot of people walked out of, which I
I'd say
thought
Mandy's
was...
very hard to watch.
Not really.
No.
Wouldn't get into
No.
Mandy at
Yeah,
all.
me neither.
I couldn't.
It's fine. It's the most fine.
I watched
you know?
a couple of minutes of Mandy and I was just like, this, I'm not. You need to be in the right state of mind for that.
I bet if you love that guy's stuff, you love it. But
Yeah.
yeah. I'd 100% recommend this movie. Like, again, it's not going to be for everyone. I think I've seen a lot of people say the film isn't scary. And, like, I get it, because what I'd say, there's very few scenes of actual violence in this movie. And it's like, I'd say there's only one specifically violent scene.
But there's more stuff scary than violence,
That's
you know?
fine. Like,
exactly.
violence doesn't scare me because you just fucking karate it and you're fine.
Yeah, like I think this digs up skeletons in your closet, or it just brings back harmful thoughts.
Like, It Follows
It's
has very few, like, actual violence that
Yeah.
you see on screen.
But
it's
I would
just
say
more the concept.
this is even more extreme than that, because the threat of violence is also never really a thing.
Mhm.
Like, it's just, this is all people complying, and it's horrible.
yeah, and like there's no, it's just people being people to each other. There's no demon. It's just people.
Yeah. There's no serial killer, there's no monster, there's no ghost. It just fucking is what it is.
Can we do spoilers next episode after I watch it?
Yeah, I don't see
Sure.
that. Yeah,
Yay, cool.
Okay.
yeah, because there is a lot to this movie.
Yeah, we got some stuff to talk about.
It's a puzzle box.
It's a puzzle box. Strategy talk! Bryan,
Yes.
tell us about One Piece Worldseeker.
One Piece Worldseeker is a 2019 game where you play as Monkey D. Luffy from the manga series One Piece. And I guess it's like Just Cause or Infamous, where you're on an island and you have superpowers, and it's a sandbox open world game, but with One Piece. It's fine. I've played 6 hours of it. I'm going to play 1 more hour, and if I'm still lukewarm on it, I'm just going to return it or just get my money back, because like it's merchandise and gaming. There are good One Piece games out there, and we'll get to them later, but this game is meh. I wouldn't defend this.
Okay.
And this is a new game for PS4? And
Yeah, it's a new game for PS4, and like, okay, it looks lovely, and it's really weird because like this game exists in like a like AA budget game where like it's a studio called Ganbarian who do a lot of anime games. Like they did the Jump Ultimate Star games, which is like I guess the Shonen Jump Super Smash Bros. Games for the DS back in the day, and like it's them looking at like Breath of the Wild and Phantom Pain and going, okay, let's like copy that kind of gameplay style but on like a way smaller budget, and it looks lovely.
Is there like fun ways to get around the world as Luffy?
Yeah, like you can just like double tap jump and he goes into like helicopter mode and he can cover a bit of distance. It's a bit like Spider-Man as well, because you can like grab onto far along buildings and then like repel yourself forward that way.
Right, yeah.
Like slingshot your way along. It's just very repetitive. A lot of it is just you see glowing items on the map, you walk over to it and you're like, oh, I picked up a carrot. And then you'll talk to an NPC and he's like, oh, your friend Zara was here, but you just missed him. I'll tell you where you went if you give me 2 carrots.
Mm,
It's that kind of game.
right.
It's just padding.
Yeah.
It's I don't have time for these games anymore.
Sure. Yeah, I feel that for sure.
Yeah.
Bryan does not sound like a recommend.
No, but there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Niamh, tell us about the sinking city. Have you already talked about this?
No.
We've already talked about it.
Yeah, we've
okay.
spoken about this.
It never happened.
This is the first time we're talking about this.
Yeah.
This
Can't
is
shatter the illusion.
Yeah, because I'm here now.
We never talk outside of this podcast.
Never.
We do not like each other.
This is strictly professional. The Sinking City is an action-adventure mystery game based off loosely, but also not that loose, off the works of H.P. Lovecraft. You are a detective called Detective Reed, and you are making your way to a small town that has been flooded consistently, completely taken over by water. And the reason you're going is because you've been having visions. This kind of unknowing being in your mind calling you forth. And Reed isn't the only person who's been getting these visions. Everyone across America has been getting these visions. So there's a whole swath of like newcomers and outsiders to the town. The townspeople, they're a bit indifferent to it. Reed is like, I'm here to investigate the visions, and the town people are like, oh yeah, that happens all the time. We're more concerned with our town being underwater. Which leads to like interesting ways for you navigating the world. You go by foot, or you go by a little boat, and you have a little dinghy boat, and some parts of the map are completely flooded. So you'll have to hop in a boat and go and navigate the world through that. So you'll be able to get inside these kind of flooded buildings and explore kind of just from a different point of view, which is really interesting. I've never gone through a city in that way. It's kind of like Venice a la flooded America. It's interesting. It's the Frogsware is the studio that does it, and they've made the Sherlock games. So there's a very strong focus on detective work and exploration through that. So when you're given a piece of information for your notebook, and you have to manually put down a waypoint. Selecting something doesn't put a waypoint on the map. You read your information, it'll give you an address. It will be on the corner of this street on this street in north section of the map. You go there, everything's like labeled, and then you can drop down your pinpoint and make your way there. So there's a bit of like do your own work to it, and some people will not like that. I really like it because it's never obtuse. Like there's never like they will tell you the 2 intersecting roads, and those roads are labeled, and you will get there. What makes it interesting is like there's a little bit of combat in it. There's shooting, but it's mostly about this exploration. But what makes it interesting is this town is so in the maw of mental illness. There's people sitting on the corner rocking back and forth in a car. There's these like horrible little naked rat cat swamp monsters that are running around, and people are kind of seeing them, kind of not. There's like they touch on race, and there's a bit like at the start of the game where it's just like, you know, these times were racist, and we have included that for accuracy's sake. I don't know. I'm not finished it. I'm only at the start of it, so I don't know to what effect that actually takes. But there's like in the town itself, there's humans. There's the Trogmortons, which are kind of like these cavemen kind of guys, and then there's these like fish people who are part of a fish cult. And depending on what you do and the decisions you make, you can kind of incite tensions between them. So for example, the first mission I had was to solve a murder. I followed all my clues, and I found it was one of the fish guys who did it. However, he told me he was driven mad by the visions because he was part of a trawler that went out over the sea where this kind of break in the earth has happened, and maybe where everything is coming from. I could exonerate him and say it was a lapse in madness, or I could take his money and sell him out like to the kind of leader of the town. Your money is bullets, and your bullets is how you fight things.
Bullet economy.
So it's bullet economy.
America.
I needed to shoot shit, So I just handed him in because I wanted to gain favor with this guy. Since then, tensions have been really riled up between those two factions.
That's what you get?
Yeah, and now there's like random fish people shooting me sometimes. There's also just cult members walking around the town. There's just a lot of texture to this. It kind of feels like, weirdly enough, like Deadly Premonition.
Oh.
Like, there's such an oddness to it. There's some things that make me a bit disappointed. Like, you can't talk to NPCs. You see them walking around the world and it's kind of glitchy. Like, this is like a AA game as well. Like, they'll kind of populate in as you're walking. They'll just kind of fall from the, they're just like pop in.
They're really fun to play because you're kind of like, oh, well, like they did this bit right, so that's cool. And then
I can let a lot go if like the core of what it is cool.
Yeah, like I haven't
it's
like
charming.
It's interesting. Like it's like I haven't played anything like it this year. You know what I mean? Like it's fun to do the investigative stuff. The combat feels good enough to get you through. And again, within the first 5 hours, I had like sold someone out. I'd done investigative work. I'd gone on my little dinghy boat. I had gone in a trawler into the sea and gone into a diving suit and went underground and found found a cult under there who were like praying to a Cthulhu type monster. There's so much happened in the space of like 5 hours of playing. And
would this be like a kind of game you could stream or?
There's a lot of. You'd have to be really willing to read out the facts. There's a lot of reading.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of deduction. But also you have all your evidence and you can make more than one deduction. Things don't always point in a thing. You can decide where the evidence points to kind of help yourself, which is good and bad. It's interesting. It has its problems. I had a few hard crashes too.
You playing on PS4?
Yeah, on PS4. I had some hard crashes that just brought me to the PS4 home screen. In the little area, you get in your dinghy to traverse the waterlogged areas of the city. I got caught on debris a lot of times, which isn't great. And I had to reload a save to just get my boat unstuck, which isn't great in a game that has boat travel. But then also I got a mission where there was like a note left that I had to go and explore an asylum, and going there you kind of start like the game really wants to get across the idea that everyone's going mad, so it'll start distorting the footage of the game itself. So it'll be like the screen is liquefied, so your head will get really small and the walls will get really big and monsters will come towards you and suddenly they're really big, and that'll kind of throw off your shot as well. And like, you know,
what, like, is this like first person, third person?
Third person. And like you have a madness meter as well. So if you kind of get too close to things, your madness will tick down that you can take pills for.
How's like the shooting and stuff?
Decent. Like you haven't played Vampire or any of those games. Like it's combat in those games where I don't mind it. Like you could hate it, but also it's not the focus. There's enough. Well, like I hated
the combat in Deadly Premonition. It didn't ruin the game.
Exactly. That's like there's so much more happening that it's kind of a means to an end. But I think they make it interesting enough. Like I went into a room and this Silent Hill-esque blob of flesh crawled towards me while like naked spider things came running at me as well. Like it gets alarming, and then when you're trying to deal with that, they'll superimpose footage of a monster or a man walking towards you over the footage of that's happening already, and the way they render that out makes it look like live action footage.
Oh, weird.
So it's really weird. And even the idle animation for Reed, like he'll hold his gun up to his head because he'll start hearing voices, and he'll be looking over his shoulder at stuff happening around him. Like everyone's really going insane actively around you.
And what's Reed, the main character, like?
I thought at the start he was really wooden. Like, I didn't like the voice actor, and I was kind of like, okay, they want to deal with race, and they're making me play as a white guy, and there's a lot of, white supremacy iconography around, like Nazi stuff. There's literal real-life photos of the KKK and stuff, and I'm kind of like, okay, at some stage I'll get to kill the Nazis, and that's cool, but it's via this white guy, so it's kind of like, I think you could have done that a little better. But Reed himself, in general, is so deadpan that I thought it was kind of boring, but then he's like, I haven't slept at all.
Right.
And he's got these like really droopy eyes and this sick looking face that it starts to become kind of like hilarious, I guess intentionally hilarious, where the kind of reactions he'll give back to people are so kind of deadpan and nearly sarcastic. Like he's kind of like, oh, I'm not having visions, like, you know, like he's nearly clocked out of it at this stage, as well as being heavily invested. I like him. I got there with him quicker than I expected to. There's one thing that I thought was just a note. His fashion choice I thought was strange. He looks like kind of a budget Indiana Jones in his kind of standard outfit. I changed it to a noir detective coat that you get unlocked, and the silhouette looks so much better. Like the game looks nice when it does look nice. Like there's all barnacles growing up the side of walls because they've been waterlogged and stuff. So him in his kind of noir coat against like that heavy contrast.
Niamh, this sounds fucking cool.
Yeah, I think if you have the patience for investigative stuff, like they'll be like, go to the hospital, someone went to the hospital with an axe wound, so you go through the documents in the hospital to find someone who
how much is it?
I got it for 40.
I think I'm okay with paying 40 for this.
I think it's like, I think if any of that sounds interesting, you like Cthulhu, you like Lovecraft, you like weird off-kilter games, there's definitely something here.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Sounds good.
I hope more people play it. I asked on Twitter if I should play this or the 2018's Call of Cthulhu, and everyone went for the Sinking City. So there's something there to it. There's definitely something there.
Cool. Sounds good. Brian.
Yeah?
I've been really curious about how you've been getting on with Super Mario Maker 2.
I love it.
Yay.
I think it's fantastic.
Wow, because you were kind of lukewarm on the first one, weren't you?
Not interested in it at all.
What happens?
I don't want to make levels.
Yeah. Which is a shame because you have an audience now.
I do have an audience. I don't want to make it. That's not my job.
Can I make a level on your copy of Mario Maker 2?
Yeah, you can.
I want to make World of Madness again.
Yeah, you can. I got it because I got Mario Maker 1 on 3DS, which was the port re-release.
Did you only have it on 3DS?
Yeah.
Weird.
And I got it on 3DS because they added a single player mode to it. And it was Nintendo's own staff making Mario Maker levels where they were just trying stuff out. But like, it's interesting to see them like break their own rules, I guess. So Super Mario Maker 2 has that pushed even further. So the story mode in this game, which is just like the offline story mode, is Peach's castle gets destroyed and you have to raise money to rebuild the castle, and you do it by playing Mario Maker levels. And you get pretty standard levels, you get the automatic levels and all that, but you get levels where they have conditions to them. And the first one you kind of come across is it's a haunted house level, and the rule is the flagpole vanishes at the end of the level if you jump. So you have to get through the whole level without jumping.
That's really fun.
But because it's a haunted house level, there's traps to get you to jump.
Oh,
the
that's
entire
so
way
good.
through. And what counts as a jump and what doesn't count as a jump is really interesting, because Mario has to keep at least 1 foot on the ground at all times, and if anything scoops you up and lifts you off the ground and drops you back down, that counts as a jump.
Oh, that's
because Mario's feet are off the ground.
This is already a lot more than Mario Maker 1, like what you're saying right now.
Yeah, because I remember Mario Maker 1, there was a Mario level where Mario can't go left. He can only go right. And so that kind of makes your brain think it a little differently. There's a bunch of levels like that. Then the online itself is fantastic. They have a really, really good curation system because it's been out a week and a bit now. They have a popular column, but every week they dump the old levels and bring in new levels. So you'll play the top 50 popular levels and they're all fucking fantastic, and you give them a thumbs up or whatever, and you can hard download them if you really, really like them. But next week they'll have a complete brand new batch of levels, and I think the second week of the levels has gotten way more interesting. Like a guy figured out a level of golf, and you do nine courses of golf with a shell to try and get
cool.
it, and so it's like crazy golf, I guess. then I don't know what else to say. It's just like,
No, I think that's fair, and I think like people know what Mario Maker is, but I'm just really interested that you're enjoying it so much. Like I think that's really cool.
no, I really, really, really love this game.
You'd never feel like you'd never even try making a level.
No.
'Cause I'd love to see what Bryan would make.
Yeah, I feel like it would be hellish.
It might change later on. Like, it's really cool to see what people are doing with the rules that they're given.
Like, you could just make a level.
Yeah.
We can throw it up on this podcast, see what happens.
They've added like more vertical levels, so a lot of the like original levels people are doing now are Mario falls all the way down to the bottom and then has to get his way back up. Or you unlock an ability that allows you to ground pound, or you get a twomp to break the level apart and stuff like that. It's really cool. There's a lot of Rube Goldberg kind of style levels as well like that. It's just, I'm really, really impressed with it.
Cool.
And I'll play 10 minutes of it and 2 hours will go by.
That sounds great.
And when I'm not playing it, I'm thinking about it. So I do love this game.
Good stuff. Guys, I'm playing Samurai Shodown 2019.
Is it the best fighting game?
It's the only game you ever need to play.
It's my favorite fighting game that's been out this year.
You've played Mortal Kombat 11.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
With Mortal Kombat though, I have always been more into the story of Mortal Kombat than the fighting itself. My problem, I have weird credentials with fighting games sometimes. I like fighting games to be weapon fighters or not be weapon fighters. I don't like in-betweens.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing that always really bothers me about Mortal Kombat.
Just kind of breaks the fiction.
See, it kind of does. And that's actually my problem with a lot of weapons fighters. I don't like it when weapons fighters don't feel deadly. Like, I've said on this podcast 1,000 times, but like my problem with Soul Calibur is you're fucking like uppercutting someone with a katana and then comboing them in the air and like taking off a third of their health. And it's like, this person should be chopped into pieces. Super like pedantic criticism, but I've just never been able to get by it, you know? What I love about Samurai Shodown is it really doesn't do that at all. If you hit someone with just a fierce attack, so like just a one button strong attack in Samurai Shodown, it will take off a third of their health. It's like, mistakes in this game are so costly, and your health bar can deplete in seconds, you know? Which makes things really exciting, because you can have these matches where like you're sticking with really kind of safe little jabs the whole match, your opponent's playing it super defensive, you're whittling down each other's health, and then like one big hit just changes everything. And it's so satisfying. I have a little bit of experience with Samurai Shodown. I've played a fair bit of Samurai Shodown 2 and 4, and what I kind of forgot about is what a cool cast the Samurai Shodown characters are. Every one of them is like so interesting and exciting, and they're all these like kind of just samurai archetypes. You know what I mean?
I love the 6 samurai.
So yeah, one of the samurai, he's a sick samurai. He's a really good swordsman, but like his posture, he's all kind of crouched over and hunched up, and every now and then he coughs blood into his hand and all this kind of stuff. And it's awesome. It's really, really cool. It doesn't look like the most expensive game ever made, but I like the art style. I think it was kind of cool.
I think I saw a bit of John playing this, and the models are all really nice, but they all have the same texture put over everything, and it's kind of like this burlap sack texture.
Yeah.
So whether it's hair, skin, clothes, anything, it just has that texture, and I don't know why they did it, because it kind of cheapens it.
Yeah,
it cheapens nice models.
Like, it does, yeah, and like I love the cartooniness of these models, because you can tell they've really, really looked at the old 2D sprites and been like, and like some of the sprite work in Samurai Shodown, some of the best sprite work, it's fucking brilliant, and you can tell they've really looked at those sprites and not like copied them or traced them, but like focused on the aspects that make them cool. You know, there's one guy in it and he has 5 katanas, and they're all in sheaths, and so he's kind of just going barehanded, but his hands are kind of near his katanas. He's already ready to draw them, and like there's a really nice tension to watching him fight, and all the characters have something like that. I think the gameplay's super solid. This is a really weighty, slow fighting game though. You will spend most of the time blocking. There's barely combos at all. Like, you might see a 3 or 4 hit combo, but this is much more about reading your opponent's moves, and you can do some really cool stuff. Like, you can actually you can disarm your opponents. You can take their weapon away. And so like it's in like Street Fighter when Vega loses his claw, you can do that to everyone in the game. But the cool thing is that if you do that to someone, they get access to a special move where they can catch your blade in their hands and like disarm you. And so it leads to all these really fun little stories that can break out in a fight. Like maybe someone tracks you in the corner and takes away your weapon, and you're just on the back foot the whole fight until you do the same to them and recover your weapon, and everything's kind of flipped. And I love that kind of stuff because I love when a fighting game has kind of worked its style enough that little stories can happen in fights. I think all the best fighting games have mechanics that encourage stuff like that. And I've been having a great time with it. What bums me out is I cannot find anyone online to play this game with, and I really, really want to play. Because there's only so good I can get against, especially in this game where it's all about reading your opponents. There's only so good I can get actually playing people. So what I will say, if there's anyone in the Discord who is playing it and would like a few games, I'd be pretty happy to jump in. Just give me a shout on the Discord, and we'll maybe get a room going or something like that. But yeah, I like this game a lot. Like it's just a fucking cool game. There's something about it that reminds me of Dreamcast games. I don't know what, but I'm having a great time with it. Last boss is super cool. It's a demon princess thing, and she's awesome. And I just think it's class. And if you like fighting games, you probably already own this. But if you're kind of on the fence about it, it totally gets a thumbs up from me. Niamh.
Yeah.
Why don't you once again tell us about Destiny 2?
I'm back playing Destiny 2.
Niamh.
There's an expansion coming up. It's like, what is it called? I can't remember.
Can I guess what it's called?
Yeah, go on.
This one is called Crimson Snake War.
Iron Butt.
Iron Butt.
Iron Butt.
Is it Iron Butt?
No, it's not Iron Butt.
It might be.
So I'm playing Destiny 2. I didn't get to finish the Forsaken stuff, so I was like, I will go and finish the Forsaken storyline. And that was the last expansion. This is where Cade 6 dies tragically. And we're all very invested in Cade 6. What was nuts about this is the story was really fun, and I love that my guardian got to speak, because your guardian never speaks. The ghost speaks for them. So my guardian opened her robot mouth and a robot voice came out, and I was just like, oh shit, she's like literally never done that, or if she has, it's so rare that I've never seen it. It was really...
That must have been weird after all the time you spent with that guardian.
Yeah, it was actually exciting. I was just like, oh my god, my girl, she has a voice. And I was just like, why the fuck have they the stupid guardian speaking for them all the time? It really kind of put that into contrast. A lot of the boss fights in Forsaken are so good. There's like, it's just really just intense flow with those missions. You're running through them. The new enemies were great. They had fire damage. It was just these guys who looked like they're wearing leather S&M gear, swinging like flaming lanterns and like whacking you with fire. It was just cool. Like, I really, really loved it. And when you finish the campaign of Forsaken, you go to the Dreaming City. One of the most beautiful locations in the entire game. I'm so glad I got there. And I'm excited for the next expansion that's coming in September, and I can't remember its name. I keep thinking Shadowbringers in my head because that's the Final Fantasy 14 one. I'm going to call it Shadow Moon, but I don't think that's the name.
Strike Sky.
Yeah, Strike Shadow Sky. I'm having a good time with it, and it was nice to play again, and that campaign was really fun.
Okay, awesome. Guys, what's we move into some Quicktime Events? WayForward announces Shantae 5 and River City Girls.
Yeah, this was at the con you're at.
I kept trying to watch it, but the con Wi-Fi was bad, and then I didn't.
The Shantae opening is done by Trigger.
I saw that,
and it's fucking rad.
Wow.
And I was like, cool, Shantae's still going. Now, did you see the little clue to another game in it?
No.
There's a bit where she wakes up in bed and she's looking out the window, but the window has a slight tilt to it, and it looks like the Smash logo. Like, it really looks like the Smash.
Are they going to
logo.
put Shantae in Smash?
I hope so.
She'd be a character who could
Shantae
totally go
fucking
into it.
rules.
Yeah.
I'd love Shantae.
I'd be super down for an indie character like Shantae.
The three.
Well, semi-indie.
What's the Shantae game we both played?
I don't know. I can't
Pirate's
remember.
Curse.
Pirate's Curse.
Pirate's Curse is such a good platformer.
I think Pirate's Curse was the last pixel one because now it's using vector art.
the vector one's good, but Pirate's Curse was just. I just thought that was a special game.
It's Shantae's cool.
Shantae's rad.
Did you see the other game then?
No, I kept meaning to look it up, but I forgot.
It's so this uses pixel art.
Yeah.
And I think it's out in August. And it looks fucking awesome.
Okay.
It's a pair of tag teaming girls who are fighting their way through a city.
Yeah.
Sold.
And you're fighting cheerleaders, fighting bullies. It just looks cool. It looks fun to play.
I'm excited. One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 announced.
Yeah, that One Piece Worldseeker game isn't very good, and it's fine because this game is coming out, and I love the One Piece Warrior games.
I ended up at a special One Piece guest lounge in NAX.
And?
It's one of those things. It's fine.
Okay. I love the One Piece Warrior games. You get to play as like every character from One Piece, and that's really, really fun.
Cool.
It's cool to see everyone do their moves. And
this is the
Muso
Yeah,
games.
yeah. That game is so surprisingly good.
Yeah, the music is awesome, and you know how usually with a licensed game they're kind of shitty.
Yeah.
This doesn't feel like that. Like, this feels like Dragon Ball FighterZ, where it's just it like gets you excited about the property.
Yeah. I remember you showing it to me before, and it was like, this is actually cool, and like thought has gone into this.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to this game.
Cuphead is getting a show on Netflix.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Don't think it needs it.
No?
Not really. I'm sure it'll be good.
I want to see some rubber hose animation. I love watching Cuphead.
I think the key drawing they've released is it's nearly too modern rubber hosey for me. Like, I think it looks like the modern Mickey the Mouse cartoon.
Is this going to be hand
Mickey
drawn?
the Mouse? Is that his Sega character?
Oh, fuck, jet lag.
Mickey the Mouse.
Mickey the Mouse. Let's fight the boss.
Is this going to be hand drawn?
No. That would kill people.
Yeah.
I'd say it'll be done in what's that digital hand drawn software?
Toon Boom?
No, well, you can do it in Toon Boom, but there's another one, and Sean is yelling at me because he knows what it is.
It's like TV Paint?
Yeah, TV Paint, that's it. TV Paint's awesome.
I hope it's good. They're saying that it's not for kids.
Fuck yeah.
I hope there's swearing.
I hope there's
Niamh, what swear word do you want to appear in Cuphead?
P.
Okay, good stuff. Alan Wake developer Remedy Entertainment regains publishing rights.
That's all it is Remedy gets Alan Wake back. It was a Microsoft Xbox exclusive back in 2010. Same with the expansion kind of American Nightmare. I like both of those games. I hope we get a HD re-release. That would be awesome. And maybe Alan Wake 2 can be a thing now.
That'd be great. Niamh, why don't you tell us about the Daemon X Machina feedback trailer?
So the Daemon X Machina demo that came out was kind of, the plan was to get feedback from players and kind of implement it. And that seemed like a lofty goal. And they did it. People had a lot of little just quality of life stuff. So I filled out that form myself.
Yeah, same.
And this feedback trailer just goes through a whole host of things they changed. Like 20? Like just a lot. Like from targeting to just quality of life implements that make things easier, to my biggest bugbear, which was the out of bounds thing that kind of bounced you back and I was stuck on geometry and stuff. They've changed all of that, and I'm really excited because for a while this game kind of dropped off the preview pre-order stuff, and there was no really solid date, but they've kind of implemented everything, and that game was already fun for me, so I can't wait to play it with all this.
It's kind of interesting. It's like you're starting to see fan feedback.
Yeah, because
to
like,
betas.
it's like with Bloodstained as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Igarashi's whipping away the bad comments.
it's like it's an interesting way of doing it, and they did it.
Yep.
You know,
Fair play.
It's good to be nice to the consumer.
And I think it's cool, like, as long as it's like, hey, tell us what you want to improve, as opposed to like, hey, help us beta taste this.
Yeah, it wasn't any creative decisions. It was just like, what would make this easier to play? And it's just like clearer lock on, like to know that I'm more locked on.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that. Quality of life stuff.
Nintendo revealed some new Sword and Shield gym leaders.
That's because they're trying to deflect from other stuff.
What other stuff?
That the game isn't being well received by hardcore fans.
It isn't, no. Did you guys see these new characters?
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah, they look cool.
I like the ghost gym leader, the Shy Guy mask.
I mean, yeah, he's pretty cool.
Who do you like, John?
Like the fighting girl gym leader.
Oh yeah?
Yep.
Do you want her to,
Bryan, please, no.
Can I finish
Bryan.
my sentence?
Okay.
Beat the shit out of you.
God damn it! Another secretary girl is there as well.
Do you want her to beat the shit out of you?
Yes.
So they are kind of like shooing away the problem with waifus, and that's one way of handling it.
I'm on board. There's fucking like 3 like quality waifus. We get 1 or 2 decent husbandus in there. We're fucking rolling. No one will remember this shit with the decks.
No.
Niamh, what's your hot Pokemon take?
I don't
Which
care.
which of the original cast of Pokemon do you want to beat the shit out of you?
Misty probably.
Niamh, she's like 13.
I beat the shit out of me.
Yeah, you're not fighting a minor.
I'm gonna just let her slap me.
Like, what's she gonna do? Kick you in the shins?
I would go down so easy.
Oh,
I'm
dear.
afraid of children. But I could probably survive a punch from a child more than like a grown ass secretary.
Epic Games will fund the cost of Kickstarter refunds for store exclusives. Alright.
Okay, so like, why do people hate Epic Games so much and then love Steam so much? Like, what's like, because like I tried to Google this. Why do people hate Epic Games? Because like I don't care about PC gaming.
Like anything we say here, we'll get a million emails and a million comments that will be like, actually, it's Chinese spyware and you're wrong.
It is!
Okay, so
It's like Steam has a monopoly, and
it's about DRM
yeah.
stuff, is it?
Can I can give you my take on why I don't like what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that is because I feel like they've found a way to be competitive that is like not benefiting the consumer at all. Like, I feel like they should be trying to provide a better service to the consumer and like putting their resources into that, as opposed to trying to make the other service worse.
I don't think they make Steam actively worse.
They literally take games off it.
Exclusives have happened in the console realm for so
and they
long.
suck there as well.
But it means like more money can go into games as well. I don't know. It's like another installer. I don't know why people are so angry about it. It's annoying, I guess, but I'm also like, people are just so mad about
I think
Epic.
we'd probably be like a little more pissed if we played more stuff on PC.
Probably. But I also like Steam is such a huge monopoly, and there is no way to challenge a monopoly that big without throwing around money like a dickhead.
I just love to see it, like, you know, that like competition. Awesome part about it is it benefits the consumer. Maybe this is coming down the line. This just isn't, and it's business wankery.
But you know there'll be like some better third party like thing that will just funnel all your games from all the launchers into one thing.
Sure. Yeah, but
So Shenmue 3, the Kickstarter of that.
So many fucking comments on
backed,
this news came out the day before I released that video.
Okay.
So if you back Shenmue, you could pick a Steam key as one of the ways to get it. And this is this is pretty shitty. I don't think Kickstarter games should do this stuff at all. But Epic bought the exclusive, so it was a year exclusive, and originally they were like, you can get a PS4 key or an Epic key if you want, and then people were like, well, I funded this for the Steam key. But then that's also looking at Kickstarter as a pre-order service and not actually a way to kickstart things. You know what I mean? Like, there's a bit of a...
Yeah. And so they wouldn't be refunding, but now they are refunding.
Yeah.
Okay, well then, that's fine then.
I just don't like it. Like, it leaves a bad taste in
Yeah,
my
no,
mouth.
like, it's very annoying that, like, it has
It
to be an inconvenience.
It just feels
and
like
be a
one
frustration.
big, giant, shitty company and another. And it's like neither of them seem like great alternatives, you know?
Yeah.
Well, the one positive, I guess, from Epic is it's more curated, where Steam is just like...
Steam is any old shite now.
Any old garbage.
True, but like I feel like that's more a stage in where each service is at in their life cycle, as opposed to like Epic, like have Epic put down actual curation.
But it also means Steam isn't doing anything to curtail the buttload of crap that's on their service.
And they should be. They absolutely should be.
Okay, I just want to give a special shout out to all the PC gamers out there. We hear you.
Yeah, I know you hated this conversation, and it is Chinese spyware.
What I like is
We're
that
finished
you're not
now.
antagonizing them at all.
Yeah, like, no, please leave your comments on YouTube. I'll read them.
Yeah. Type us something on your PC.
Oh,
If you're using a PC,
Get a
let us know.
PlayStation, you idiots.
Or you could get a Nintendo Switch Lite. Ugh.
Nintendo announced the Switch Lite.
that was seamless. Just seamless.
Told you. Podcast right here.
PC gamers aren't allowed Switches.
No. So,
The Switches are for
I'm
hot
going to-
bitches.
Sorry, Niamh, could you repeat that?
Switches are for hot bitches, and no one who plays PC games are a hot bitch.
this actually...
This tracks.
No, this is a joke my girlfriend Rebecca made earlier on, where I came home and she was like, did you see the new Nintendo Switch? And I was like, yeah, it's much smaller. And she was like, yeah, the Nintendo bitch.
Thanks, Rebecca. I was like, she was here.
Are either you gonna buy this?
Nah.
No, I play my Switch docked. So this is the details of this. I think it's super cute looking. It's
Yeah.
I love the colors.
yeah,
And, like, it's
yellow,
it's-
turquoise, and
The
like
yellow
a
is like the
gray.
main unit. That's fucking bold.
And yeah, it's got a good price point and
$200.
That is aggressively good. Fair play to them.
because it's missing the dock and the HDMI
Yeah.
cable and detachable Joy-Con.
I bet
rails.
Michelle's gonna buy one of these.
It has a new
Yeah.
D-pad. It's not dockable. No Labo support. No detachable Joy-Cons. No HD rumble. So it's basically, if you want to use your Switch primarily, like, it is the handheld version. So if you have a Switch and you use it just as a handheld, this is probably the one you want. It's like a big Vita.
Yeah, it's a big Vita. But see, like, I would get this, but I use my Switch 90% of the time in handheld. But I do like to play it on the television, and I like having that option.
I bet you'll own one of these eventually, Bryan.
Of course I will. I'm a piece of shit.
What's the Game Boy count at?
8.
What's your recent purchase that you put up on Instagram?
Do you know, I can't even remember.
A Virtual Boy replacement screen.
Oh, yeah.
Can't even remember.
Sometimes you gotta go on eBay and buy stupid shit.
Yeah, she's bad too. She likes a special little lady.
Yeah. Today, a call card from the Netherlands arrived with Tomb Raider 3 on the front of it and Ninja from Core Games. I bought it from a call card collector, and they are really prickly. They are not fun to buy from.
Niamh, how much have you documented your Lara Croft collection?
Not as much as I probably should.
Is it getting to the point where you have a significant amount?
No, I have a lot of weird shit though. Like, I'm trying to keep it freaky, like a call card.
Okay, so you're not going for everything.
Yeah, no, I could, but like Tomb Raider collectibles are really cheap and easy to find because they churn that shit out in bulk. So I want to get the weirder shit. Like, I got a brochure for a Lara Croft clothes line they did. And this is just when the copyright symbol was easy to do on computers. You go into symbols in Microsoft.
Fuck yeah.
So it's just Lara and then this copyright symbol for the C is Croft. So it's just the copyright symbol printed on big horrible black and white t-shirts. And they're like, it's her fashion line. It's a really funny brochure.
Nice.
All the photos are blurry, which is a great way to sell clothes.
So the Nintendo Switch Lite, everyone.
Nintendo Switch Lite.
I think this is a good option for people who are on the fence about it, and Comes out on
$200.
and like it comes out on the 20th of September, which is same day Link's Awakening comes out, and then the week after is Dragon Quest 14.
Well, you're practically losing money if you don't buy it.
There's a Pokemon Sword and Shield special edition as well,
Yeah,
and
it
it's
looks really nice.
really nice light grey with like red and blue buttons.
Yeah, it's cute.
It's a cute one.
It's a shit game though, but you know.
Hey, we don't know that yet.
Yeah, it could
And
be.
all I'm saying is just I just feel kind of turned around on that game. You know, I've been very negative about it, but I kind of looked deep inside myself and was like, you know what? I'm going to be more a positive person from now on. And so I'm looking forward to it again. I am brave enough to feel good about this game.
Sure.
Emails.
We have an email address?
Yeah, you can like send us emails.
No way.
You can. No, I swear to God, you can.
How?
Do you have the internet?
I do.
Okay. Do you have an email account? That's electronic mail.
I do.
Okay. So you type a electric message into your email account and then you send it to askletsfightaboss@gmail.com.
What's that, Niamh?
Ask Let's Fight a Boss at gmail.com.
Brian? Don't want to get pissy here. If you send it to letsfightaboss@gmail.com, we will not fucking get it.
That is someone else, you fucking faker. You fake fuck.
If I ever meet the person who owns letsfightaboss@gmail.com, I swear to God, someone's gonna bleed. Why don't we take our first email?
Alright, this one is from Noah. Hi, my two queens, and what are your opinions?
Wait, no, what did he say?
I can't read that. I don't know what.
Say it.
Eternal Dark Prince. What are your opinions on Let's Plays versus playing the game yourself? Do you think it's possible to have an equally good experience with a Let's Play, or will experiencing it yourself always be more special? Are there any Let's Plays you really enjoyed?
I think specifically did Noah mention Nier in this?
Yeah.
So this is like about original Nier.
Which is a 70 to 100 euro game.
What? No, it's not. I have two.
Gestalt?
Yeah. I think that's really like it depends. I think it's more expensive on PS3. If you get it for Xbox 360, it's like tenner.
I think they printed a lot on the 360 that didn't sell.
I think this completely depends on the game. Like
also the Let's Play.
Yeah. But like there's like some games where I think part of the journey is experiencing it for yourself. Like even if I had my most favorite Let's Player in the world playing Nier, like Automata, I don't know if it would have meant as much to me if I didn't experience it. So I think if it's something that you really think you'll get a lot out experiencing firsthand, you should try to play it yourself. That being said, you can get so much out of a Let's Play. It's just a different experience because it's a
totally
different medium,
yeah.
like, you know.
I find I don't like to watch. I don't like to watch Let's Plays of games I've played. I generally like stuff I've never heard of. I love watching weird Let's Plays. You know?
Yeah, I like the ones where someone has a PC that can play weird, shitty games that would give you a virus.
Yeah,
but that's kind of part of the risk.
Yeah,
and it's a haunted game.
Yeah,
I really like long form narrative ones. Like I really like Red Dead Redemption, watching people play that, and just like even the Dragon Age games or Mass Effect. Like I like seeing people's choices and seeing how different those games are when they're not played by me.
What would you guys have like a particular favorite Let's Play like of one game by anyone?
There's a few I've enjoyed recently. I really loved Abby Russell's on Giant Bomb's playthrough of Resident Evil 2 Remake.
Yeah.
I thought that was really funny. Like, she's just a very funny person, and then to have that game bring the scares at the right moments and bring that tension, and she'd never played a Resident Evil game, like, it was very compelling stuff.
Yeah.
And she was just kind of super good at it, which was really fun to see.
For me, it's probably Vinesauce's Sonic Dream Collection.
Oh, yeah.
Because it starts with him going, okay, I woke up this morning and everyone's been emailing me, oh my god, you have to play this game. So here we go. And it's just him going, okay, I get it. I need it to stop.
Vinesauce is a really good one as well, where he goes into an old abandoned RPG or MMORPG, like really old one where like it basically looks like an N64 game, and it's a bunch of weirdos still there. And
is this one where he's trolling them?
I can't remember. This is from a while ago, but eventually, like, it gets really weird, and they're showing him all these weird rituals.
Oh yeah.
And eventually, someone comes up to him and is like, "Hello, Vinny," and he just turns off the game. He's like, "Fuck this." That's really good. I'm trying to think what. Giant Beastcast have a Let's Play of Shenmue 1 that I really love. It's Vinny, Dan, and Alex, and it's just quality stuff. And I also really used to love the Best Friends Salty Bet nights. They were really good.
You know what? When I was playing Bloodborne, I would watch the Super Best Friends, their uploads of Bloodborne.
Oh, really?
Just because I had such a tough time decoding that game at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then when I fought a boss, but I wanted to see it again, I just wanted to see someone that was kind of familiar to me go through what I went through.
Yeah.
Just to share an experience.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know anyone to talk to about that game.
Yeah. I think it's really depend. Like, watching a Let's Play is such a different experience than playing a game. I mean, I don't think either's really like fundamentally worse than the other. And I think like a lot of people now, they become fans of games, and like they get really invested in like the universes of games through Let's Plays.
Oh, totally.
And I think some people really have a problem with that, and I don't know why.
I don't know why.
I don't know why
would.
you make that argument without coming back to like gamer cred.
It just makes like games way more accessible for people who don't even like. Games are expensive, you know, and there's like.
We met so many fake gamer boys at AX.
Really?
So Rebecca was cosplaying 2B, and she looked fucking amazing. Like, she looked class. And there was this day where like a bunch of guys wanted to take photos with her, and she'd be like, "Yeah, glory to mankind." And they'd be like, "What?"
I see. They just knew 2B from the fan art.
Yep.
Yeah. Did this person own Tesla? Just saying. No, like my brother loves Undertale. He's never played it. Rebecca loves Phantom Pain. She's never played it. But like, you do experience those games without touching the controller.
And like, yeah, I think there's some games where I would be like, "Oh, you should totally play that," you know? Like, I think the experience of playing like a Silent Hill 2, I think it's a very different feeling when you find out what's happening in that game when you've been controlling this character. I think the feeling of like getting lost in like a Yakuza, you're probably not going to get that from a Let's Play. But then, like, you know, you're not going to get, if they're a very skilled Let's Player, they're going to make it entertaining in their own right, and that's a different thing.
And it also depends on the Let's Player. Like, some people will talk about themselves, other people will talk about the game lore. Some people will do fresh runs, some people will do, you know, they play this game a million times and they can do it without thinking. You know, you really have to find someone who's your speed. Like, I don't understand a Let's Player who doesn't read out all the lore, because I want to know the lore, and that's why I'm here. But a lot of people don't, so you just kind of have to find the person who matches your interest in Let's Plays as well, which can be super hard to find.
I recently did like my first proper Let's Play, like all the way through, with Woolly Versus, and that was a really weird experience because it started to form this weird meta narrative halfway through the Let's Play.
How long did that take? Did you do it all in one sitting?
No, we did it in 2 sittings.
Okay.
First session was about 2 hours, second session was about 4 hours, and we got fucking so salty. And it was kind of amazing. Like, that game really broke us, and I think the results were very entertaining. It was good. Brian, why don't we take another email?
Sure thing. Thank you, Noah.
Thank you, Noah.
Okay, this one is from Liam, and these are all quickfire questions.
Okay.
We gotta be fucking quick.
Okay, no fucking hesitation.
Okay, here we go. What would you name your pirate ship?
Stinky Beef.
Brian, what's yours?
Mud Slapper.
Big Brian's Big boat.
Okay, let's go for Tyrannosaurus Crossbones.
Okay, that's really good. Who in video games / anime would be your exact equal in fighting?
Oh.
Who in video games or anime?
So who would like be your kind of physical ability?
Yeah.
Who do you want to fight and have like a good sparring match, I guess, equally again? You know.
So like not any fighting game character.
You don't want someone to kick the shit out of you, John.
No.
I know, I'm not going for that.
Just someone you could probably beat up.
But they could probably beat you up, like a good even fight.
It's 50-50. It's really hard when you're put in the spot.
Yeah. Like Daxter, but that's because he's a small animal.
That's a good answer.
Okay, Niamh's Daxter, Bryan.
Vivian from Paper Mario Thousand Year Door.
Okay.
John's just stronger than every character.
John's jet lag brain to the max.
It's really hard.
He can only. He's
could you beat Nathan Drake?
I think I could beat up Nathan Drake.
Okay.
There you
go. Could you beat up Dante?
No.
Okay, V.
Okay.
Would you fight V?
If he didn't have his animals, I could kick the shit out of V.
He has his animals.
Okay, well I couldn't then.
Wait, you can have Mont.
Mont is a fucking tiny coward. That's my dog. He's absolutely useless.
He's pretty. Yeah, he is a weenie.
What about Lara Croft? I feel like that would be even.
No, she has guns. You've seen how she fights.
She didn't have guns.
Okay, but like, I mean,
I think she'd probably still win, but I think it'd be even enough.
Okay, yeah, fine. You can fight Lara. She can set you on fire.
Oh, perfect.
And John, she will kick the shit out of you a little bit, so don't worry.
Okay, let's just move on. This is meant to be quickfire.
Who are your top 3 Danganronpa characters?
Niamh, hit it.
Yeah, Niamh, you're...
Shelly, Nancy, Dale Cooper.
Yeah.
Okay, the tennis guy, Chiaki, and...
Junko.
Yeah, Junko, sure. Junko's fun.
Yeah, I'm quite fond of Junko as well. I'd put her at the top.
I just call them by what their like special ability is.
Yeah.
I can't really remember their names because they're...
Yeah, no, me neither. I always forget their names.
I have trouble with Japanese names because they're full Japanese names. Like they're...
I like the assassin girl from 3.
Yeah.
She's great. And I like the strong girl from 2.
Yeah, you do. Okay, if you 3 were in a killing game, how would you each act?
I'd find Bryan and Niamh as quickly as possible. A, before they could get their hands on their weapons. B, before they could form a plan. And C, before they could kind of meet up with each other. I'd murder them both with my bare hands and I would win because that's the only way I'm winning, because otherwise they'd form a plan and they'd kill me.
How about you, Niamh?
Well, we have formed the plan.
Yeah, we have.
Bryan will be the soft and supple bait.
Yep.
John will obviously come to kill Bryan pretty instantly.
Oh no, like whoever I see first. Like no.
You'll see
no
Bryan.
preference.
I put him in a spotlight. He's supple. You're gonna go for him. Like a bear to meat.
Just some grade A rump.
Yeah. I will be there in the darkness.
With a bottle.
With a bottle and a brick.
Niamh, how many times do you think you've told me that if we had a fight, you'd use a bottle on me?
You'd bottle him.
Like every time, because it always comes up when we're drinking, and I have a bottle. I have a wine glass.
And so, like, sometimes it'll be out of the blue. You would just be like, "I'd bottle you, John." And I was like, "All right."
I just want everyone to know that could happen.
The way I would act is the clothes are gone. I'm wearing blood from now on.
The
And
clothes are made of blood.
I'm just... I smile, you see my teeth.
Primal Bryan.
Yeah, I it doesn't matter anymore.
I'd love some Primal Bryan fan art.
Yeah. Podcast time. That's what I say.
Next question.
If you 3 were in some form of assassination team, think the assassins in Kill Bill,
Okay.
what would your fighting style be?
Barefisted murder.
I choke you with Game Boy cartridges.
Like a motorbike.
Your fighting style is motorbike.
I can't drive it so well.
That's why you crash it into people.
Yeah. So every time I park it, I just hit my opponent.
Sorry. What would your persona be?
Oh, like we have to pick like a mythical figure for this.
Yeah. Well, we're Irish, so let's go with
Cuckaloon.
Cuckaloon, awesome. Yeah.
It's fucking Cucullin. I want a fucking giant swan coming out of.
Oh, yeah.
I want that shit.
Okay, you're gonna Children of Lyra.
Lear, yeah.
Like, I'm Niamh from Tír na nÓg anyway, so just put me on my magic horse and I'll have men fight for me. And
Actually, no, I take it back. I want a pirate because you're also allowed to do pirates, and I want Anne Bonny.
Okay.
okay,
Sorry, yeah.
Cool.
Can I
it's
just
gotta
have
be Anne.
like a ghost version of me?
You could have like some sort of puka, yeah.
yeah,
Sure.
yeah, you can have Puka. Okay, I'm gonna go for a Banshee. There we go.
Yeah,
Banshees are cool,
Yeah,
yeah.
Banshee's awesome. Okay. What would your persona be?
God damn it. Fucking wolf with an eye patch.
Guinea pig with a big smile.
I want it to be just Anubis. Like some furries are just like, my persona is the god Anubis, and I'm ripped and sexy. But it's probably like a border collie,
Yeah.
but also sexy Anubis.
What's the most overrated piece of media you've ever experienced?
Baby Driver.
2001 Space Odyssey. I don't get that film.
I got this question at the panel, and I'm always like, it's so hard to like. Overrated to me is such a weird concept.
Yeah, like
You
even
could just say
there.
Stranger Things.
Yeah, like even like 2001 is like such a classic, and then
Yeah, it
Baby
is.
Driver like was hyped at the time, but I don't think anyone gives a shit. So like,
In light of
Yeah,
recent
where-
events, for
yeah.
sure,
But to me, I feel like, and I guess this is just because I view things like from such a like subjective point of view with a lot of this shit. But it's like, to me, it's like for something to be overrated, someone would have to be lying about how much they enjoyed something. Does that make sense?
well, there's like cultural like, you know, hype and stuff. Like you know, people latch onto things. There's loads of fluff articles written about it. Like, you know, money goes into marketing and shit and hype culture. That isn't all just fake. You know?
Are there any Disney movies where you're just like fuck that?
Yeah, it's like the kind of thing though where like if you got like a petrol and you're like, this is the best petrol in the world, it gets, you know, 8 miles to the gallon. I don't know, I don't drive. And then you're like, so this is the best petrol. You're like, well, no, that petrol's actually overrated because this petrol gets 9 miles to the gallon, so it's a way better petrol. Then I get that. I find it just hard to break it down in terms of
Petrol? Yeah, that is a difficult analogy.
But does that make sense?
No.
Because like there's a numerical value to it, so you can prove like numerically, oh, this petrol is worse than this petrol. So
I
that
know,
petrol
but like
isn't
no
the
one's
best.
asking you out to prove what something means to be overrated, but there is a cultural phenomenon of people creating hype over specific things.
Okay, what's something popular
In that
you-
moment.
you just don't get, and you're just like, eh.
Like, for example, Crash at the Oscars. Like,
Yeah.
that was a marketing push to get an overrated film an Oscar, and like everyone was talking about it even though it was Garbo.
So do you think that the people who like Crash don't like it?
I think
they were
if they were
probably worried
rewatched
that,
it,
like,
but like people can be influenced by hype, and they can also be influenced by just the word Oscar. Oh, I saw this film, it won an Oscar, so I guess it's good, you know? Like, people judge things by that barometer.
But then, see, I bet we could find people that would passionately argue that it's like the greatest movie ever.
oh,
They
yeah, of
would be
course.
wrong, but
I'm not arguing, but do you know what? Like, do you see what? I guess this is just why.
I know, but you're breaking it down too much. Like,
Okay, well,
Yeah, it's
I'll just
gonna
say
be
I had all the shit. I said all the shit at the panel, and the last thing I said at the panel was, "So My Hero Academia," because that's
Yeah.
the answer for me.
yeah.
But yeah, good answer. Who would dominate moves? Rock, paper, scissors. What's the dominant move in rock, paper, scissors?
Literally nothing beats rock.
Scissors, because it's gay.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we just move on.
Paper. Because you picked the fucking scissors and rock. And we all fucking counter each other. What would your Yakuza style back tattoo be?
Oh.
Oh, wait. No, sorry.
Okay. Bryan, you should get like a Yoshi.
A guinea pig riding a Yoshi.
I just want... I want a Yakuza getting a back tattooed on their back. And like it's really hyper detailed.
What about you, Niamh?
My fat lurcher with a sword in her mouth. My dog.
She's not fat.
She is. She's on steroids
Oh,
now.
no.
Yeah, she's chubbing.
She's chunked up.
I think I really respect the tattoos that are like something really non-threatening. So just like a small cat, but like drawn in a cool way.
No, it's got to be the whole fucking back.
Or just an object
yeah.
a mini disc player or a CD player.
Like, do you want flower
What
petals
about
and waterfalls?
what about just
splashes?
yourself? Like just a realistic
Steve-O?
portrait.
Yeah,
yeah.
Steve-O thumbs up thing. I'm awesome.
Did you see the version of that where someone got the Steve-O back portrait done as Jar Jar?
Oh, no.
And it's so detailed and it's so good. It looks amazing, but it's also, why would you fucking do that to yourself and to people in your life?
Look, it's not. It's tough.
It is tough out there.
Okay, and then this last question. Oh no, there's so many. Hey,
Brian, you picked this email.
I love this email. But
Who
it's
is it
just,
from?
It's dense.
Okay,
It's
we'll
from-
try and get through it faster.
I've
from
forgotten.
Liam. Okay,
Okay.
Liam. Why? Your options are 50 hawks, 10 crocodiles, 3 brown bears, 15 wolves, 1 hunter, 7 Cape buffalo, 10,000 rats, 5 gorillas, and 4 lions. You must pick 2 that will defend you while the rest are coming to kill you. I guess so. It's like tabs.
Rats and wolves, no problem.
Oh, I was going rats and bears.
I want the hunter, but I hope the hunter is Van Pelt from Jumanji. I don't want crocodiles.
You're gonna die, Brian.
The rats will just eat
Yeah.
everything.
It's fine.
And look, the cool thing is, the rats, you could get a few rat kings in there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not signing with the rats. I'm not a rat. I'm leaving it at that. Liam, thank you so much.
No, go.
No,
You can't do that.
It's actually just like messages.
It's all
to
shit
us.
from here on out. Thanks, Liam.
Liam, thank you so much. Those are super fun.
Yeah. One more is okay. Quick questions again. These are from Noah and John. If the Bleach anime ever came back to adapt the last arc, 1,000-Year Blood War, aka Quincy arc, would you watch it or not?
Sure.
Niamh, I've long considered getting into Tomb Raider series of games. Which one do you think is the most worth it for standing?
You can get Tomb Raider 2013 for €5 on every console, so just start there.
It's good. It's a good game. This is to me, but I guess it's to all of us, really. I plan on getting into animation after I finish high school. I was wondering, as someone who works in that field, we all do, what are some useful skills I should try to master before entering the industry?
I mean, it depends what part of animation you want to get in. Yeah. If it's just raw ass animation, draftsmanship will help you a lot. Learning to draw, take every opportunity to life draw. Learn to love drawing. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Just enjoy it, and you will get better naturally, as opposed to trying to like squeeze the good drawings out of yourself.
I think in terms of software, no matter what department you're in, you're going to open up Photoshop. I think you need to know Photoshop. You need to know how to navigate that software. I think it's always good to know 2 bits of software side by side. Like Photoshop and After Effects super complement each other. Animation software be Toon Boom Harmony and TV Paint. Flash is kind of doesn't really exist anymore now. It's Adobe Animate. A
basic understanding of just file formats and frames per second and stuff like that will go a long way as well.
Yeah,
that will say that's the kind of stuff that will like save you disastrous results.
Mm-hmm. And then just from the social aspect, animation is a team sport. Get good, or at least be prepared to work with other people. Don't hide your stuff away. Show other people your work. Get feedback on your work, and like just accept criticism and be prepared to grow. Like
it's all about the collaboration.
Yeah,
and you're going to get notes. It's fine. It's just part of the job.
Yeah, you just go okay, and then you do your notes.
Yeah, it's not personal. It's just you are literally a tool for the director, and they are just using you how they want.
Yeah, and in some ways it is.
You're a sexy hammer.
Yeah. Stay
What's
positive.
a sexier tool than a hammer? A saw. It's a saw.
Yeah, it's a saw,
definitely. Yeah, they're fucking awesome.
Yeah.
They make such a good sound.
Mm-hmm.
Such a good sound.
Okay. That's that then, I guess.
That's that.
That's the end of the emails.
That's the end of the emails. AskUsFightABoss@gmail.com. Thank you everyone for the emails. Sometimes I think we should do an email-only podcast sometime.
We have so many.
Yeah, I think we should.
It's like at this point, I feel like we're answering maybe 1% of emails.
I'd say what'll happen is, towards the end of the summer, there'll be nothing going on. It'll just be backlog of games. Let's just see how we get on.
Let's get a little tipsy and let's do some emails.
Yeah.
Okay. Patreon shoutouts.
Nice save.
What are you talking about?
We said at the very beginning of this, we have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/LFABE. I'm just doing a bit. It's LFAB. Let's Fight a Boss. We have
many delicious rewards.
We do.
And a whole community of boss casters there for you to hang out with.
Yeah, they're on a Discord.
Guaranteed to be at least a little cooler than the people you know in real life.
I can confirm that.
It's true.
We have a $3 tier. One of the perks of that is that you can type something in to a particular thing. I don't know what they're called on Discord.
Server.
A server, yeah, and we have to read it out.
It could be anything.
Get the fuck out, like we have to.
Happy birthday to your mom. Happy birthday to your dog.
Will you marry me, Thomas?
Yeah, to Thomas.
They're okay, like
get that sweet Thomas hat.
Yeah.
There probably is some stuff we can't read out, but like,
oh, there's absolutely some stuff we can't read out.
But yeah,
but generally,
we've never turned anyone down yet.
Yeah,
don't be that
but
person.
Don't be that person.
Like, I think people aren't harnessing the power of this well enough.
Oh no.
No, like you could like make a saint. Most things.
You're making me a little nervous.
Okay, who wants to go first?
Niamh, why don't you take this first one away from Lightspeed Boy?
Always drink your orange juice, kids.
Wow.
I mean, that's just straight up good advice.
Yeah.
Bryan, why don't you take this one from Neon Love?
I see what you've done here. Sometimes I turn up the volume when listening to the podcast, so the squirrel that's always on top of my neighbor's roof goes away. It always works.
Cool.
And
from Dr. Jank, don't worry, Josh. Us dirt babies must rise against those above us. Next year we shall sit upon the throne.
No, it's read it word for word because I copy paste them.
Next year we shall set upon throne.
There is no the.
Next year we shall set upon throne or lay across the two, whichever is more comfortable.
No, read out comfortable. Say it.
Next year we shall set upon throne or lay across the two, whichever is more comfortable.
There is only one throne. Me and Bryan sit on each other's laps.
Yep.
We alternate.
I'm actually fine with you two doing your queen shtick because I feel like you only have so much time left to do it, and it would be cruel to interrupt it now.
Well, yeah, at some point this podcast is going to end.
Yeah.
And I think we know when it will.
I think we should add something to the queendom.
What?
Because I was trying to think, what is my perk? What do I get for being the queen?
Well, whatever you get, I get in January when I become queen.
Yeah, if you ever become queen, you'll get it too.
Okay.
So I think between the stages of the top 10 to 5 on our game of the year, someone gets more weight behind their vote.
Absolutely not.
They get the queen's vote.
No fucking way.
I know what game is going to get pushed and which one is not.
So, but like it can't go beyond the top 5.
No.
It
I'm
has
not
to
agreeing
be.
to this.
No?
No, not at all.
Okay. So queen vote. You don't ever want to have control of the queen vote.
Niamh, do you think I don't remember the voting situation from the beginning of this year? Do you think I don't remember the awful mistake that you both forced me into?
No.
I don't remember.
Oh, yeah,
I do.
I don't remember, like...
There's one of our votes is dependent on where a game lands in our Game of the Year list, and I feel so fucking stupid for going for it, but giving you more power means you could only affect that again, and I am so close to becoming queen. I'm so fucking close. If you think I'm going to do anything to let that slip...
You've heard it here first, folks. The Queen has a special vote in the Game of the Year
Jesus
award.
Christ, can we just finish this fucking podcast?
2 against 1, I agree.
No. Loot drop.
This is the end of the podcast.
This is the end of the podcast right here.
How about we go with you first, John, because it
The
says
end of the podcast, my dear.
He has lost it.
he's just
Plain
I'm
madness.
really tired.
Yeah.
I'm really, really tired.
that's nice. I kind of like when you're not 100%.
I don't like it. I feel soft.
Yeah. How fat did you get in LA?
I'm pretty fat.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can't wait to roll around with you.
Oh, Bryan.
It's fine. It's just friends.
So, this is going to be my second time loot dropping something I'm in. I'm sorry, I won't do it after this. But I really wanted to loot drop the Mystical Ninja playthrough I did with Wooly. I had so much fun doing this. I thought it was really great. I've gotten a lot of fan art from it, which I think is a really good indication of how much people liked it. The full LP is available over on Wooly Versus, and if you enjoy the tone of Let's Fight a Boss, if you like me getting shit on a lot, this is a really good Let's Play for that.
It's why I enjoyed it.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I love Mystical Ninja. I played it last year.
It's so good, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so hard.
It is. It's a pain in the ass, but I can't believe that game got localized
I know,
in the
yeah.
early 90s. Like, that should have been left in Japan.
Did you
it's
enjoy
insane.
the part of the Let's Play when just everything went to shit, like complete shit?
Yep.
And the illusion came shattering down.
That game is aged in places.
I still love it. I still think that's a fantastic game.
It's super charming.
Yeah. Niamh, what do you got?
Mine is a channel called OKI's Weird Stories, and the algorithm pushed one of his newest videos up to me, and it
Same.
was great. It was The Rise and Fall of Dan Ninan,
Yep.
who's like a really weird comic who sends other stand-up comedians emails telling them about how well he's doing and how shit they're doing. He's not a good comedian. He lies about his age consistently. He's just a real wackadoo dude, and this is just a real good video detailing it. The rest of his channel is amazing as well. I watched his 4-part series about John McAfee of, antivirus software fame. That guy's life is insane. It's like a fucking Grand Theft Auto storyline.
They kill dogs and stuff.
Yeah,
didn't he?
he's fucking
know
weird.
like 1 or 2 snippets, and they're so bizarre.
This 4-part series on it is great. Like, the editing is solid. The storytelling is really, like, on point. Nothing runs too long. Everything is concise in the way it should be, but also really entertaining. It's a great channel. It feels like one that's going to blow up. He only has, like, 39,000 subscribers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which it feels like he should have so much more with...
I'll take a look at him.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff. And I just like his vibe. He's cool. So that's my channel drop.
Bryan.
Mine is Pony Smasher on YouTube. This is a video that got recommended to me. Have either of you seen Shazam or interested in seeing Shazam? The DC superhero movie.
Is there a movie also called Shazam starring a genie?
Kazam, I think is the name of it. Shazam's really good. I didn't talk about it being in this podcast, but I did watch that film, and it's very good.
I've heard good things.
It's like that Tom Hanks movie Big with a little bit of kick-ass in it. Like, it's about a boy who becomes an adult man superhero. Like, it's funny. Anyway, the director of that movie has a YouTube channel that he occasionally still uses. And this is a Cinema Sins style video about the making of Shazam.
What?
Yeah. And he's just pointing out, like, this is how he did this shot. You might think this is in there for a dumb reason, but it's actually in the movie for another reason.
Interesting.
It's just like, it's super down to earth.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad this video exists, and I think everyone should watch it. If you like movies and you wonder how movies are made, this is a great video.
Guys, I am really tired, and it's starting to get hard to talk.
There are points in this episode where I didn't know what I was saying to what I was.
So let's all get on board the Tuck-In Express.
No, I fucking hate the Tuck-In Express.
Choo-choo! Next stop, Sleepy Town.
Yeah.
Pull up that duvet, put on your nightcap, and give me a kiss.
We're going straight to hell.
Motherfucker!
Good night, everybody.